not since '07 have I been so excited about the U-20s. Got to be honest with you. This team today kicking off the Concacaf Champions.
Go on.
Up against Panama. 3-0 winners. Fotsing with a brace in this one. A great start with Jesse Marsch on the sidelines, by the way. We'll see him later wearing a hat. Looks very casual, enjoying himself. He's
growing the Charmin beard too.
You mean patchy and grey?
Yeah. I wish mine was patchy and grey.
But listen, Jordan, a really impressive start to what is an important tournament with both the World Cup and Olympic spots up for grabs.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this for a pen as well. Picked the corner beautifully. But yeah, you know it was going to be a great day by Mackenzie, right? We were talking about players this little window right here, a product of Vancouver Whitecaps. But oof,
he's off.
Talk about
What is he thinking,
10,
by
man.
the way?
That's madness.
Yeah, he knew about that one.
Yeah.
That's called last man back.
Yeah.
That's a bad challenge.
There's
Horrible
bar of this
challenge.
competition. I mean, there's no arguing that, which makes things rather straightforward for Canada. Unfortunately, there's a couple players that picked up injuries. Bostonberry went out at the end of the first half. Graham Roach, really rate the player, came out as well in the second half. We'll see. Just right there, you can see him limping a little bit. But other than that, like, you're seeing this CPL influence within. And see, there's Jesse right there, casual Jesse. You're seeing the CPL influence, which you love to see. That was actually ruled out offside. That was Fotsing again. He was the best player on the field in this one
Great
today.
finish.
We see him week out in the CPL for Vancouver, and Martin Nash he's had to earn his time to get into the team. It's not like it's gifted to him, but he's an exceptionally gifted player. There's the brace right there. He's a beast. Like, he's big, he's strong, he's technically adept. He's a really exciting player. And I just want to mention, like, on the opening set piece, it was Sergei Kozlovskiy of Atletico Ottawa providing the service. I've been a big advocate of this for a long time, James. Like, we talk about player pathways and where kids should be playing and getting their opportunity. When you are 16, 17, 18, if you're good enough playing against top players in the Canadian Premier League, like, you really test yourself. You're not playing kids anymore. And I think it gives players like Fotsing a little bit of a step up on some others. It's not just playing within a big club or whatever. It's like, what league are you best suited for at that time? And I think by the looks of Kozlovskiy and Fotsing and others, playing in the Canadian Premier League has some real serious value to prepare these players for tournaments just like this.
It's not just about the matches. It really isn't. It's about the preparation. It's about the travel. It's about having someone, a coach, put their arm around you, telling what you need to work on. Older players as well leading into Fotsing. You're going to look at an isolated incident and be like, oh, okay, he's prepared. I'm not saying that other players aren't. But I can definitely tell you, because we watch him week in and week out, Kozlovskiy has worked on the left foot. The man-child in Emrick Fotsing has worked on that late run into the box to go off the shoulder of defenders. He just displayed that, right? I don't need to watch every minute of the game to know that he'll be ready for U-20s, because I watch him every week. Wheels does the same thing. Like, we're in it, so we know that he'll be ready. So I'm happy that it's paying dividends. What it's like to go and just kind of work and grind.
And you got to play.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many really good players in this country that are either domestically playing here or are abroad, and they're waiting for their opportunity. Training only gets you so far. I just think that there's no replicating the benefit of playing against good professional players with good professional coaches on a week-in, week-out basis.
Games that matter. Games that matter, right? Where a coach puts you in and say, this is your job, you got to do it. And we've seen Emrick Fotsing, just to talk about one, not maybe have his best game, but the bounce back is so much more important. How he is the next week after, and this is what this league provides.
What a weekend for Martin Nash overall. You know, now seeing this kid do so well for the national team. Is it too early to talk about ceiling for Fotsing? How good can he be?
Like, he's going to be... the thing is, a lot of young players, what they struggle with is the physicality of the game and the tempo. And we talked about him, I called him a man-child before the last match. He's the only one levitating, right? He's the only one up on the goal. Everyone else jumped, but he jumped higher.
Defending in fairness, right?
It is, for sure. Great ball
terrible
by Kozlovskiy, but the fact that he's up, he just knows where to be. I mean, if you're thinking about Jesse Marsch ball, if you're thinking about what you need in the modern game, he can go box to box, he can defend well, he can carry the ball forward. Right? He's not Ishmael Kone, who's the best probably at it for Canada, but he's up there in terms of traveling with the ball. He has a lot to his game that you like, and he's still so young, so he can improve on those things too.
We see a lot of these young players in the CPL or playing in MLS Next and other places, but Fotsing is among the top players to keep an eye on going forward, not just because of where he's at and how he plays. It's like his profile.
Yeah.
like that big, strong central midfield player, a position of need, especially if Marsch is going to stick around and bring through players like this. He's exactly the prototype that Jesse Marsch would want playing his sort of football.
I wonder, with Chile and Peru on the horizon, and you'd imagine that some of the veterans will be rested for those 2 games, I would think. Will he call up a couple of kids who do well in this tournament? We're 1 game in, right? So let's take a bit of a breath here.
Yeah.
It's still Honduras, very good team.
But I think he should, right? I think if you're a manager, you think about what your team could be, right? The areas that you want to improve on. And he's brought like Shola Gimo, certain players, Camp Poutine, they've been involved in. Why couldn't it be Fotsing as well? If you're thinking about players that can play that type of football that you need, maybe we get to look at him. Where we mentioned this as well, this is why I think this window and this opportunity for these players is important, because you have the head boss, Jefe, right there looking at you. That's the time to go and perform and show your best self.
Yeah, but I'll defer to Jesse Marsch on this. Like, I'm not an advocate of players just being there to tick boxes, right? Just handouts. You need to earn it. You need to be ready. Like, with wearing a national team kit, it comes with a certain level of responsibility. So, is he ready yet? I'm not sure. We've seen players like Santiago Lopez around the team. So, it's not unprecedented. You always want to keep an eye ahead. Absolutely, I totally get what you're saying. But Marsch, by being with this group, which is really advantageous for him, he'll have a better understanding who's ready to step in and who isn't.
I mean, listen, the semi-finalists get into the World Cup, right? These are big games coming up. Prospects-wise for this tournament so far, we've seen them dominate against a Panama team that, let's be honest, is not a very good Panama team. Harder tests to come. Are you feeling confident about a semi-final berth?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's early, right? But there should be enough there based on the players that we've done the deep dive in and a good start. That's the thing, too. When you're playing these matches in such a tight concession, you're thinking, okay, can you go and pull it off from the start, right? So you're seeing what the team, they should be building on that as well. The more time Marsch gets with them, the more time that they get with each other and in this type of environment, they should be playing better than they are right now.
I hope so. You said that you haven't been this excited about a youth team since 2007.
They haven't been in this tournament since 2007.
I mean, the reason is they haven't been at tournaments like this is they've found ways to lose games they shouldn't. So that's how I'm programmed watching teams like this.
And Marsch says we have to start competing in these tournaments, 20s, 17s, even 15s, right? I mean, listen, as an ex-player, if you're a young player being called up to the U-20s, for example, and you see Jesse Marsch, the national team head coach on the sidelines, that's got to lift you as well. More pressure as well at the same time.
Absolutely.
We should be clear why they weren't playing in those competitions over recent years. It's because the CSA wasn't in a position or did not make the priority to fund those programs. And when they entrusted John Herdman to oversee the men's program, that he was too busy with the men's national team and there was like a dereliction of duty. I'm not blaming him. This is what happens when our system is too thin, reliant on too few people. The fact that now something is being built, hopefully there'll be more involvement and more opportunity for players to play. The advantage that this team had, they played some games coming into this competition. Generally speaking, in recent years, the teams would get together and show up and play in these tournaments, and we expect them to do crazy things. Like, that's just, it wasn't realistic.
And then showing up but not really having a philosophy about how you want to play, right? That's the next thing. Talented players, but like, what formation we're going to play? Are we going to press? These are all the intangibles. As soon as you see Jesse Marsch, don't even put on your cleats. Don't put on your boots. You know you better get your spikes on and you got to be ready to press it and go and play high tempo. So that's a good thing in itself. We can break down how we feel about that in detail later.
I like how Marsch is there, but like, this cannot be the long-term solution. Like,
no, Andrew Olivieri is there, right? You assume it's still going to be his job. I would think.
If it was his job, wouldn't he be the head coach for this tournament?
But it's a transition to a new system, though, isn't it? When the head coach is the head coach. We saw KJ's interview this past week on One Soccer with Henry Moller, talking about how he sees head coaches, they have to be looking at all the age grades, not just one, to your point, with John Herdman focusing too much.
Is it Henry Moller that's going to make that decision? Who makes that decision? And is it just simply the Marsch philosophy? Is there some sort of hybrid? I mean, these are big picture conversations that are being had already, but we want to see how it plays out. And I feel much more confident going forward if there is like firm appointments where everyone understands where they sit in terms of that pyramid. And then there's opportunity therein created for players to go up the pyramid and be rewarded for success.
And coaches.
It has to be.
Which is Spain, which is kind of the outlier. I'm not comparing these guys to Spain, but
they do it in Norway, they do it in
for years in Holland.
So it shouldn't be predicated on one person, right? You want a sustainable system based on whatever happens, right? If Marsch moves on in 3-4 years, there's something in place that Canadians, because this is something from the beginning of time, since I was young with no facial hair, thinking like, what's going on? Way back, 25 years.
You're like, how do you? Facial hair.
I know, right? The beard is kind of staying with me. But my point being is like, have something that's sustainable past Marsch in years to come, past the next World Cup, where players that are 15, 17, 20 have something to kind of live by.
Man-child, Jordan Wilson.
Yes, man-child.
I was never a man-child, you know.
We're like childish man.
Canada's back in action on July 29th, 9 p.m. Eastern here on One Soccer. Canada against Honduras. That would be a real test for them. And then Jamaica on August the 1st, 4 p.m. Eastern, also on One Soccer.